Yes, this is a good one here. Inside the Ocean Avenue, massive Pacific Ocean views, right? Mental health facility approved without Santa Monica's knowledge. Nobody in Santa Monica knew what's going on. All of a sudden, just like everywhere else, they're getting a psych ward shoved down their throats. How'd this happen? Well, let's get into it. Here we go. So what you're seeing is this is just what's happening everywhere in big blue liberal cities because they've got an enormous population of the homeless between California, where we're talking about here, Oregon and Washington State. We've got way over a third of the entire homeless population in the United States. Build it and they will come, and they have come. They have come to California. They have come to Washington. They have come to Oregon. And now you got too many of them, and local officials are like, what do we do? Got to put them somewhere because they're running around chasing each other with hatchets, whatnot, causing just a ruckus on the street. They're up to shenanigans. They're up to crazy people on drugs shenanigans. We got to do something. Well, let's convert that one over there. We'll convert this one over here. We won't tell anybody. Mum's the word. Don't say anything. Housing for criminally insane? What? I don't know about that. What are you talking? That. I mean, that's just a mental health facility. Yeah, I mean, they get a little loud at times. Yeah, every now and then we gotta get them in those straitjackets. Ooh, yeah. Let's watch watch a video. This is a good one. This video has about it. I'm going to break it down. This video encapsulates the homeless industrial complex crisis to a T. Here we go.
2 at 10, frustration is brewing tonight in Santa Monica, a new mental health housing facility. It's set to open this month, but neighbors say it came out of nowhere. Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf, he's live right along Ocean Avenue tonight where that high-end view is coming with some high emotions. Matthew?
That's right. This is where that facility will be. Definitely a high-end area right across from the beach and soon to be housing for those with mental health issues. One of Santa Monica's most exclusive stretches of coastline with million-dollar sunsets now set to become a mental health facility. What was a senior living center is expected to reopen this month as a 49-bed housing complex for people battling severe mental illness.
For the county to be able to come and just place this right here in the middle of the neighborhood, I find it to be a little confusing for everyone.
Nearby.
I don't think it's confusing. The county does it on purpose. If they give any warning whatsoever, you're going to have outrage from the citizens. So they got to jam this through. Don't tell anybody. Just make it happen. And then hopefully by the time we get most of our renovations done, boom, we're up and operating and there's nothing they can do. Because everybody that's concerned about this is so busy working, doing their kid thing, doing their whatever thing. They're busy living their lives. And yet they've got all these irritants happening. And one of them is you got a bunch of whacked out, homeless lunatics coming in and needing mental care at a closed facility, and you've just opened up an open facility. So there's no confusion here. This is just what's going on. And this is not just California. It's anywhere you've got the big homeless population, because that's what we're talking about, right? Mentally ill people on drugs and homeless.
Residents shocked say this project came out of nowhere.
It just doesn't make any sense. Everybody here pays a premium, and the safety is less than anywhere else in the city.
Court Wagner.
Weird. Yeah, your leadership doesn't give a crap about your safety. That is bottom line. And you're paying a big premium? Well, not anymore. Because you're getting, 49? You're getting 49 lunatics in your community. Good luck with that there.
Relocated to Santa Monica after his home was damaged by the Palisades fire. In just 9 months here, his family has already had a run-in with a violent homeless man armed with a knife.
If this really turns out to be similar to what the other houses have done, where they're escaping and there's criminal and behavior and violent behavior.
There's no escaping. These are not places where you commit people. These folks are not committed against their own will. They can go out at lunchtime after they leave lunch, grab themselves a hatchet and go to town on the community. It's totally accepted because we are not involuntarily committing either people whacked out on drugs or just straight up mentally gone. We're not involuntarily committing them. So these folks are going to a mental health facility that is basically open door. These folks can just walk out. So let's bring them all the way from Watts. Let's bring them from Compton. And we'll put them in here. And, hey, they're wandering around. That's weird. I don't get it. Confused. I have concern. What's the dude running around with the machete for? Don't understand.
Yeah, we're going to move. Again.
Across the street from Santa Monica College, there's another one of these mental health facilities right next to a neighborhood full of families.
It doesn't feel safe at all. I hear like a lot of...
Because it's not safe. These people need to be locked up in institutions. It's not safe. This is not that hard to figure out. And yet you hear all these residents and you're like, and I get it. You know what it is? It's a massive case of NIMBY. Not in my backyard. Nobody wants this in their backyard. Nobody wants it in their backyard. But the only places where you can easily convert multi-unit facilities into what they're doing here, which is individual units for people needing mental health care facility, is in areas where you've got zoning that's previously been designated like that 50, 60, 75 years. It's already set up for that kind of thing. You don't have it way out in the sticks where everybody wants to put it. You don't have it in these rural areas because zoning doesn't allow for mental health care facilities, right? You got to have them concentrated in areas where you've got services. You've got doctors that can help out. They can bring that needle and jab somebody when they get a little too worked up, where they can put them in that straitjacket because they need it, where they could administer some mood stabilizing drugs, right? All that good stuff.
Screaming, and the police and the ambulance is always there. Sometimes I avoid to walk that direction.
Are you in favor of this project?
I'm not in favor of it where it is.
The St. Joseph.
Not in my backyard. Not here. Not here. Well, then where? Where do you want it? Where do you want it? Well, put it in some out of the way industrial area. Well, you don't have buildings for that. You don't have the facilities. You don't have the wraparound services. They're all in concentrated areas. So we're trying to build more there, converting more there. So what you heard from that lady is just so standard. I want to have this because I know we need it, just not here. Not on Oceanside.
Center will run the facility funded through a state grant with 24/7 on-site staffing and an open-door policy allowing residents to come and go as they wish. According to the mayor, she just learned about the plans within the last 2 weeks.
We don't have local control. And if we want to change that, we need to write to our governor. We need to address this.
Good luck with that, with Gruesome Newsom. You realize that Gavin Newsom's your governor. You realize that you voted that guy in. So where's that going to go? I mean, he's too busy arguing with Joe Rogan about getting on his podcast. And literally, what is Gruesome Newsom even doing? Who even knows, right?
With the county.
And we're just wondering why the residents weren't notified and why this couldn't go somewhere else.
Why they weren't notified, why it couldn't go anywhere but here. Everybody's the same. They don't want it in their backyard. They don't want it in their backyard. And a lot of this has to go towards the whole progressive ideology of housing first, meaning you get people into housing and then you can start to stabilize them. And this facility is just straight up a mental health facility. Open door policy. Do you think people suffering from life-threatening mental conditions should just be able to be, hey, just go ahead. Why don't we give you a driver's license? Better yet, let's give you a commercial driver's license and just have you get out on the road and we'll see what happens and we'll just see how this thing goes. I mean, why not? It's kind of what having an open door mental health facility is. It's zero accountability for people that need help. They need help. And you've got all these healthcare professionals that want to help them, but really can't, because when these people have the choice of leaving or staying behind and kind of maybe a rigorous schedule where they can't be shooting up the drugs and smoking the fetty like they want to, they're just going to walk out that door and go, thanks, that was great. That was an awesome stay. Thanks for the food and the shower. And, nice nurse Ratchet was there and she really helped me out. Some nice man gave me a bath. Crazy.
The city of Santa Monica is planning a town hall to discuss this issue sometime in the next 2 or 3 days, but it sounds like this project is going to happen. We're live tonight in Santa Monica. Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
Yep. That's going to happen. That happened just like that, right? Crazy. New Santa Monica mental health facility sparks backlash among residents. Yeah, it does. See what we got here. For the county to be able to just come in and place this right in the neighborhood, I find it to be a little confusing for everyone. We heard him say.
Right up in the middle of a vibrant.
Is it really confusing? Your politicians do not give a crap about you. Like zero. It's just words. They got to balance so many different things, which means, the whacked out nut job on drugs, taking a machete to somebody, they got to worry about that. That's always that triggering thing in the back of their head. Well, we need to do some more towards taking care of the actual nut jobs in our community. We got to cover them a little bit more. So the other people are going to bitch and complain, but at the end of the day, they know that this project has to go somewhere. Let's just shove it down their throats. Now, where is this that we're talking about? Check this out. There's the Palisades Park, right? I mean,
sexual stuff.
It doesn't get much better than this. Literally, here's Ocean Avenue. Get up, my yellow guy. Here's Ocean Avenue. Here's Highway 1, Pacific Coast Highway. Here is Puget. I almost said Puget Sound. Pacific Ocean. Here's the Pacific Ocean. Right there. I mean, what an epic setting. If you're going to lose your mind, that is the place to do it. I want to do it down in California and just, hey, John, pull up a chair. Look at the sunset. Okay. Give me whatever you gave that guy that's all slumped over there. Give me some of that. So check this one out. This is another great one. And I'm doing individual stories and all this. I've got a separate story on the Seattle mayor one. We will pay for it. Seattle mayor wants to broaden homeless service across county. Well, that sounds like a nice title, but what he's saying is Seattle has way too many homeless people, and our way of solving it is going to be, if you have land in your community, we'll partner up with you and we'll fund construction of housing for for people that have been unhoused, which means on drugs, mentally unstable, and a combination oftentimes, and they're actively still using drugs. Let's go ahead and build that in your community, and Seattle will fund it. This is going to be great. It's going to be the greatest thing ever. What could possibly go wrong? Shenanigans for days, as we know, right? So literally, this is what Bruce Harrell is saying, mayor of Seattle. And what was also super interesting is that he came right out and said, maybe it's not in this one.
Overnight break-ins with the homeless see them there wandering through the business to even swinging away, fighting with the workers. And that now has
Check this out. Homelessness in the state has gone up. This is Bruce Harrell. Homelessness in the county has gone up, the mayor said. It's a crisis situation. And year after year, we keep budgeting for it. The answer has to be a regional solution. Well, yeah, but it's mainly a Seattle problem because Seattle is the flagship that brings all these people in, right? Seattle is why all these folks are here because it's such a big progressive city and we love housing the homeless. This is a crisis situation and year after year, we keep budgeting for it because you have built it and they will come, and they did come because you built it. So now you got literally thousands of homeless people whacked out of their mind on drugs, and you want to spread the love around. Okay, all right. Crisis situation year after year of spending, the answer has to be a regional solution, meaning we're going to put whacked out homeless people anywhere we can. And we'd love to have you provide the dirt, and we'll be the building partner, and we'll fund this bad boy. What do you say? We get after it? We build just complex after complex after complex? What could go wrong? Fact is, the people in Seattle, 70% of the people that are unhoused do not become unhoused in the city of Seattle. They're from somewhere else. And that percentage is even much, much higher because that stat is based on where was the last place you were housed. And a bunch of these folks are not from Seattle, but maybe they were housed in Seattle for a month, 2 months. We don't really know. And that's what they answered to that question. So you could have 80, 90% of the people that are unhoused in Seattle are not from the city of Seattle. They're not local. They didn't just fall down on their luck. They didn't just one day, hey, things aren't working out. Guess I'm going to become unhoused. That's not how this goes. So many of these people are literally, they're running from the law. They're running from Johnny Law because they've got charges of some order. They are looking for communities that will support them, and they can do the whole West Coast, Best Coast trip, meaning start off in Vancouver, BC, get across the border, however you work that one out, get into Seattle. Things are getting a little hot in Seattle because of what happened up in Canada. Well, then we go down to Portland. Portland's catching word of, that guy that died and that whole thing that I was involved with. Now, then we head to San Francisco. Okay, San Francisco gets hot, and we head down to LA. And you can just keep doing that loop. You can do, various iterations of that. But 70% of the people that are unhoused do not become unhoused in the city of Seattle, but they're here because you built the homeless industrial complex. It's here, it exists, and now you're looking for partners to share the financial,
what's going on here? The homeless.
not windfall, but financial downside to basically building the homeless industrial complex the way that you have. Because nobody wants to end homelessness. Nobody wants to end it because there's too much money involved. There's too many mouths to feed. You notice not one plan that we ever talk about comes right out and states, hey, here's what ending the homeless situation looks like. Here's how we're going to end it. What do they talk about? More housing, meaning just enabling that to keep going. Let's just keep it going. Let's just keep the party going. So Bruce Harrell reiterated, solutions are found in a regional approach, one that I continue to support. So just make the entire region loaded with homeless people, whacked out of their mind, doing drugs, because housing first dictates that there's none of this, hey, you got to get sober. Hey, you got to get a job. Hey, you got to be a contributing member of society. None of this is predicated upon this, right? It's all housing first, meaning you get somebody into housing and work on their sobriety later, work on their ability to become a functioning human being later, work on their getting a job so they can actually contribute to society instead of being an absolute deadbeat and be a suck on society. And so many of these folks have mental issues as well.
You can do this on Saturdays.
So what are you going to do? You're going to place people wherever you can. You're going to try and shove this down people's throats wherever you can. You know where they don't typically do this? Yeah, big Republican-run cities. It's not a thing. You know what they do? And we've talked about it. Oklahoma City, what do? They've enabled their state troopers to, hey, if you don't want to accept shelter, you don't want to go to treatment, hey, we'll take you to jail. Because we've been given the ability as law enforcement agents, you can't live wherever you want to live. You just can't do that. That's a hard no-go, which is viewed as non-compassionate by the left, by Democrats. Oh, where's your sense of compassion? And then you've got guys just writhing on the streets going through, crazy mental stuff, doing drugs, and they're just an absolute mess. And you got people taking videos of them, and you're thinking, well, that's not all that compassionate either. Letting somebody die out on the streets like that, that's not exactly compassionate, but you know what I mean? Crazy. Seattle mayor claims 70% of city's homeless come from outside Seattle. Okay. And the comment that I have made about this before is that this is based on a pit count, and slightly more than 26% of those surveyed said the Seattle metro area was the last place they had stable housing. So it's not that they're necessarily even from Seattle, but that's the last place they were. And so few of them actually are from Seattle. So the numbers of people that are homeless from Seattle, that are homeless in Seattle, it's probably 10%, maybe 15% of those that are here out of our massive homeless population. And I think our pit count for King County is 16,000. Double that, you got a city of 30,000, and that's just King County. That's not Pierce to the south. That's not Snohomish to the north. Just King County. You've built it. They've come. Now what? Well, shenanigans. We're literally going to get out the popcorn because there are no solutions for this. Can't build your way out. These are people. Can't just, eliminate them, right? You can't do that. Where are you going to put them? Well, Sean, let's go ahead and put them on an island. All right. What island? What island? Where? These people aren't going to go voluntarily to an island where there's no drugs. So involuntarily? No, can't do that. Put them in a mental institution because they're psycho? Where? You don't have any. What few you do have, they're all tapped out. Don't have services. Don't have wraparound services. Massively expensive to take care of all these people. So you've literally over the last multiple decades allowed this thing to just fester and get terrible. And now you're trying to build your way out with these individual, we're going to house 49 here today is what we're talking about. And then we're going to do this. And then we're going to do that, right? How about this one? This is here in Redmond. This is Microsoft country. Public kept out a groundbreaking for homeless housing facility in Redmond on purpose. They did not tell people, hey, we're going to be kicking some dirt today. We're going to be doing a little bit of that, shoveling, that initial ceremony. Well, he pitched the first shovel of dirt. And you're like, yeah, one shovel. Way to go. All right. We're off to the races now, right? They did that, and they specifically did not allow anybody except for the partners from the homeless industrial complex who are supporting this facility in Redmond that's going to be just like the other facilities in the area. It's going to be an extension of that, meaning you're going to have massive increase in 911 calls, massive increase in violence, massive increase in drug crimes, stealing from the community, 911 calls all day long, people killing each other, literally in the bushes, arguing over spilled vodka. And if you think that's not a story, literally from a few weeks ago, fight over spilled alcohol prompts deadly fight between homeless men in Bellevue. And so this guy murdered his homeless buddy in the bushes, took $3,000, doused him in vodka, and killed him. Just maimed him to death. But hey, we don't want to alarm the public, so we're going to keep the groundbreaking for the homeless housing facility in Redmond quiet, because it's the same company. Same company. Yeah, the ones that run this one, the geniuses that run this one, that kicked out this dude, and he's in the bushes next door with his buddy doing God knows what. And then last week there was a 911 call. Dude called in and he said he'd been R-worded. And you're just like, oh, how do you know you've been raped? Well, my you-know-what is bleeding. And you're like, oh, okay. That call, I couldn't work out what was going on there. Drugs, take a bunch of drugs and you wake up and something's bleeding and you're like, this isn't good. Right. And you make the call to 911. I think that, I don't know. Right. Who knows? But those are the kind of shenanigans that are going to happen when you bring a mental facility or a homeless facility or any of these other joker things, right? So all of this stuff is interrelated. It's all happening because we don't have enough facilities to handle so many of the people that are living outside, that are living unsheltered, that have mental issues. We've just basically abandoned them. You got a situation of massively cheap drugs that people are able to get. They're able to self-medicate. We've got leadership that doesn't know what to do because they don't have a solution. The budget to build housing for all these people, which is not the way to handle it, because you just you get into a situation where you got to build more and more and more because, hey, people from Portland, no, you can go to Seattle, get housing. Why wouldn't you go there? So your numbers just keep going up. You're not solving anything. At some point in time, you got to take a hard stance and you got to address some of these major issues. And because you got budget shortages all over, not just Seattle, you got budget shortages from all over. You had the whole, COVID-19 thing. We shut down governments. We shut down cities. We shut down industry. And then, you've got these periods where things were wonky and you're just not making as much money. Taxation isn't coming in the way it was, but you've still got all these people because these are people that you're working with and you can't just make them go away. Just put them on an island. Really? Yeah, that's not going to work. Oh. And at the end of the day, what everybody wants to see is literally love to have that built, just not here in my backyard. Over there, that guy's backyard, you betcha. As long as it doesn't impact me. And so much of this has to go towards progressive ideology, which is, hey, I'm all for it as long as it doesn't impact me. As long as I can live in my, multi-million-dollar mansion overlooking the water and I don't have to see the squalor of housing first policy in the Tenderloin in San Francisco, in, other areas where you've got just absolute whacked out homeless nut jobs running the streets, literally controlling the streets. As long as those politicians and those influencers don't have to deal, then progressive ideology is just the cat's meow. But in reality, like housing first, doesn't work. And it's not gonna. But yeah, let's just keep going down the road and pretend like it's going to work at some point in time, because then I've got podcasts for days, weeks, months. Thanks so much for being here. Love to have you subscribe, hit that notification bell, share with friends and family. That's a great way for this channel to get discovered. Much appreciated in advance. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.